Welcome guys to my first response video. And before we start, I would like to clarify that not too long ago I used to be a fan of this guy. But after the years passed, I started to like him less and less. And eventually, when I watched his Devil May Cry 5 Angry review, I just realized how shallow his reviews are. He's honestly not that different from the hack video games journalist from sites like IGN or Kotaku. I am not going to mention how dumb some of his takes are, or how often he starts fights with other YouTubers like a petty child. We are talking about his work here, not how he acts outside of it. Also, another reason why I choose one of his least infamous reviews is because I want to prove that even at his best, Angry Joe is still very shallow. Because yeah, I know that he gave a good score to the game, but that doesn't mean that the review itself is good. Let me put it this way. Remember that clown Dean Takahashi that could barely beat the tutorial level of Cuphead? Let's pretend that he made a review of it and he only played the tutorial and still talks as if he beat the whole game. But he gives the game a 10 out of 10. Is the review still good just because it is positive towards a good game? Of course not!
Yeah! For the Emperor! Haha! Brand new Angry Army shirt!
Okay, the review starts with an ad for his merch, which is fine since it only takes 30 seconds out of a 28 minutes and 32 seconds review.
Jackpot!
God, I hate it when you say that.
What? It's cool!
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. These the demons you've been blabbing about anyway?
Yeah?
Ugly motherfuckers.
You want to talk?
What did you say? I look way better than these guys. Imposters. What game did you say this was again?
Now we're doing a skit. I'm sorry to judge it too harshly, but it is just not funny. And what's up with a horrendous wig that Angry Joe is wearing? It's like he just put a mop over his head. The only good thing out of that cosplay is the red trench coat. But that's only because he got it from the collector's edition he bought. Usually his cosplays are even worse than this. But hey, it is self-aware cringe, so that means you can't criticize it. Okay, first skit ends. So we are 2 minutes and the actual review starts.
You done good. You done good, Capcom. First off, full disclosure, as I take my game reviews very seriously, as you can tell. At first, I didn't want to review the game as I'm currently working with Capcom on a Capcom licensed board game. Click the link in the description below to learn more. But after playing it, I said screw it, I have to cover it on this channel. So if you want to take whatever I say here with a grain of salt, that's fine. But know that no matter who I work with, it's never going to stop me from telling it like it is.
I see. Well, I will take your word for it that this won't affect the overall rating of the game.
Capcom is on fire lately. This game completely ignores the ill-fated DMC, Devil May Cry emo reboot that horrified me years ago. Oh no! What have you done?
Damn, you were really thin back then.
And I'll say this up front, do you need to know about the previous games to enjoy this one? No, not at all. In fact, the game does include a little breakdown of what's happened so far. It does help, but it's not required, trust me. It is a self-contained story that brings together most of all of the characters and sort of finally answers some questions that fans have had. To me, it is the most accessible and it's a great starting point for any new fans.
The most accessible? I don't know about that, dude. but I think that Devil May Cry 3 and 4 are far more welcoming to newcomers in terms of story. But that's just my opinion.
Oh, Mr. Foulmouth, huh? Motherfucker calling me a motherfucker. Man, I'm pissed. I'm gonna beat your ass. I'll wash your mouth out with soap, demon. Whoa, fuck.
Oh my god, your gameplay sucks. You keep doing random normal shots of the blue rose at close distance. It's like watching someone play a Devil May Cry game for the first time. Ugh. Whatever, let's continue.
Yeah, she's got a terrible southern accent.
Tell you what,
Tell you what.
How's it feel to be rescuing the guy that killed your father?
Hey! Nico's accent is not awful. It's actually quite adorable. But anyways, we're 7 minutes in, and so far he wasted time on lots of stuff. He didn't even do a proper summary of the story. But that's fine, as long as he really goes into detail about the gameplay, since that's the main draw of this game.
But it's certainly memorable. She's sort of like a gunsmith and like an engineer who makes these custom Devil Breaker arms for Nero, who lost his arm in a recent event. There are so many of these to choose from, and each of them have a unique ability. It is so much fun customizing and switching between them in battle. You never really know what kind of arm you're gonna run into next throughout the game.
Oh, you didn't show it any gameplay of Nero's Devil Breakers? You just said they were cool, but you only showed a cutscene. Then another long cringe skit. You know, it would have been a lot easier to showcase how cool those robotic arms are by just showing it through gameplay instead of just talking about it. Remember when this dude got mad at YouTube when he was probably not going to be able to show gameplay of the games he reviews anymore? He even said that a big part of the Angry Joe show is that when there's something about the game that's worth mentioning, he just shows it to you. But he's not doing that! I mean, he's showing gameplay, but most of the time it is not relevant to what he's saying.
These arms are a ton of fun to play around with, though I do sort of find it annoying that you can't freely switch between them.
Yeah, that's
Damn it!
not what I
Never
wanted.
hit LB! But you see how you get so used to hitting LB with the other guy, and then you play him and all of a sudden it breaks your arm. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it is made that way, so you have to choose carefully which Devil Breakers you are going to pick up and use.
You ain't scared, are you?
I feel this is as good as the gameplay is going to get.
All of these will rank up the style meter, and normally I kind of hate these sort of rankings crap in other game series at least. I just ignore them because it feels like it's undue pressure on you, but here in DMC for some reason it's just so satisfying to
Oh, so in Devil May Cry is more satisfying for some reason. Dude, you are the one doing the review. It is your job to find out what it works in these games over the others. At the very least, you could mention the dynamic music system that this game has with the style meter.
Dismal. Not a good Nero. Dismal.
I get that! Stop rubbing it in my face!
Oh, that scene?
Oh, come on!
Dismal.
Whoa. Just when I thought Angry Joe was bad, Other Joe completely dethrones him.
pretty sick combos, and it had some solid gameplay. How's the gameplay here? Well, thankfully, it's also great.
What do you mean it's also just great? The gameplay of the awful Ninja Theory reboot was mediocre at best. And Devil May Cry 5 probably has the best gameplay in the entire hack and slash genre. There is no point of comparison there.
Though it does seem to be taxing at times, as it requires you to hold the right bumper for targeting in certain combos. I can make my hand ache a bit, but it feels a little odd. It's got a learning curve to it. I think it's very one-on-one centric when Devil May Cry is usually a bunch of enemies around you.
I do know, dude. Just because you're targeting a single enemy doesn't mean that you can't attack multiple enemies at the same time. And that's how it always has been. Surely if you have played the other games you should be used to this by now. Besides, targeting systems are really good for focusing on one specific enemy. That's for what they are for. It doesn't help that his gameplay continues to be really bad. He keeps doing random normal shots of the blue rose at close distance without charging it, and doing random normal attacks at the air without hitting any enemy. He doesn't even use the exit ability when playing as Nero.
You like my flowing hair when I move?
It actually looks good. It's better than the other one by far.
You cannot kill me! I am Omega!
Joey, sick combos! Oh yeah!
It shouldn't be legal for you to embarrass yourself while that awesome music is playing. I know that sometimes I waste time with silly jokes too, but they don't last very long, and I quickly move into talking more about the game.
Dante is like the most complex. He's got so many weapons to choose from his classic weapons from previous games, a fast bruiser style punches and kicks, with even this breakdancing style weapon that I love to use. He's got multiple swords, multiple guns, nunchucks, flaming long poles. My favorite, a fucking motorcycle.
Well, at least now he's talking more about the gameplay. Wish he talked a bit more about each weapon specifically and what they can do. And I know sometimes I go overboard with that. But this guy is the exact opposite of me. He barely talks about them. Instead, he mostly shows cutscenes instead of actual gameplay of those weapons.
For me, he was the easiest to get smoking sexy style rankings with it, and it's just a blast to play. Now, yeah, his style is mostly button spamming in comparison to the other two.
Button spamming? I mean, yeah, it is true that he's the easiest to use, but I don't know if he's mostly button spamming. I mean, you can do that just as much with the other characters as well. Maybe what he means is that it is easier to get away with that, since you don't find your opponents directly. But it's hard to understand what he means, since he doesn't go into detail about anything, and he is also incredibly vague. But if anything, with V is the one that you have to know what you're doing the most. Since if you're not careful, your familiars might get defeated, and V on its own is pretty much useless.
Now, I do recommend you start in Demon Hunter mode, I think it is, not beginner mode, because the game, it's kind of easy. There are multiple difficulty levels later on, but I think it makes it easier for new players to the series to come in and play it. And like I said, there are more difficult modes that you can play and engage in, so it didn't really bother me that much.
Well, they probably made it like that for noobs like you. And yeah, I know I am not a Devil May Cry pro player either, but it is hard to take this guy seriously with his basic bitch gameplay. I even find it hard to believe that this guy has played the previous games in the franchise. But hey, at least he admits that he's not that good at the game.
Especially since I'm not all that great myself at DMC. Oh no, my orbs! My precious orbs! Oh, hey,
What the
Nero.
fuck?
Hi, what have you been doing?
What is that?
These are chaos red orbs for demons, the demon blood. Yeah.
I've been killing demons. Where's your weapon?
So you know, I'm helping too.
How?
Because this is blood of demons, and the less blood they have, the less power they have, and the more power I have. Duh. Wait, you've not been collecting red orbs?
No.
Well, that's probably your fault then. Stop being that way!
God.
What the fuck was that? Oh! Oh, it hurts! Oh, it's you that's causing my suffering! Then if I tear you to pieces, the pain will stop! Burn! Burn to the ground!
Oh, so you're back again.
Can I escape, please, Eddie?
Okay, but don't interrupt too much. And about the skit, what was even the joke there? That Dante's more focused on getting red orbs for new abilities and items than helping Nero? Even though those will be really useful in future battles. So why is that a problem? He's wearing a cowboy hat in this kit. So that's obviously the new Devil Arms Faust. And that weapon consumes red orbs. So maybe the joke could have been about Dante wasting too much time beating weak demons, but in the end he has not collected a single red orb because he wasted them all using Faust.
Now, before the game, I was concerned about these, and as you can actually buy them with real money, that scared me. Thankfully, I tested it out. They come at a pretty regular and generous pace. I never felt scammed, like I needed to buy any. Well, all except for one thing.
Oh my god, EX provocation.
That's a lot of grinding.
So lot of grinding. Does that say 3 million, Joe?
Yes.
I can't.
I see. Well, I hope that this affects the score at the end, since that's your thing, right? Rating games based on their content and how much they screw you over with the awful greedy monetization tactics. And yeah, the super expensive taunt is bad, but the fact that now you can pay to revive just by using lots of red orbs to incentivize less skilled players to buy them with real money is way worse for me. We should talk more about that.
Yeah, Capcom is bad sometimes, but at least they don't defend She-Hulk like Angry Joe Camille. But hey, what can he do? He's only a nerdy, woke, social justice warrior. That's enough punishment right there. Nyek, nyek, nyek. He even called Eric Julie a racist and a pedophile. And we know that is a big, fat bullshit. Big, fat bullshit. And, by the way, I love Ripaverse. Independent comic is the way of restoring the balance to the cosmic universe of comics. Nyek, 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 nyek.
Yeah, I know that he likes to start internet drama, but we're not focusing on that here.
And we could probably use a little bit more openness, as at times the levels can feel a little linear, maybe repetitive, but that might have to do with some of the pacing towards the end of the game. The game could have used just one other section, you know, maybe a better puzzle section or something a bit more unique, like conversing with NPCs or something during this demonic invasion. Something to break up the action.
More open? Dude, I don't want this to end like a Scalebound or Bayonetta 3, where after 2 successful games they tried to reinvent the gameplay and level design, but it didn't work out. The levels don't need to be bigger and more open. The more linear level design is done because they wanted to go back to the classic Devil May Cry style, since the awful reboot alienated fans of the original. Talking to NPCs like an open world game would not feel like a classic Devil May Cry, and that typical Ubisoft Lucy work will just distract from the combat-focused experience they wanted to make. It is because people like you that are obsessed with all games being open world that now that is the new gimmick AAA developers are doing all the time.
Yeah, open world games is the new orange, like the FPS in the 360 and PS3. You know, all the games need to be online shooters with multiplayer component. So, Devil May Cry is good as it is. It's perfect, like classic Coca-Cola. Oh yes, sir.
As, you know, there is unfortunately a boss gauntlet section. Like, I just do not like boss gauntlet sections where they recycle bosses that you've already beaten. I didn't like it in Destiny, and I certainly don't like it here. But thankfully, if I'm going to do a boss gauntlet, at least it's in a game where the combat is so much fun and I get to redo these bosses with more moves that I've unlocked and I've gotten better at playing with it. So yeah, I just wish I would have appreciated something else there to replace that boss gauntlet section, and it would have been perfect.
Wait, what? Huh, that is familiar. Oh, you mean exactly like in God of War 4? That game that you also gave a lot of shit for having a boss gauntlet, that also had really fun gameplay.
Just one, please. Just one. Damn it!
No.
That's a fucking boss gauntlet! Why, God of War? Why? How many times do I gotta put in my reviews that boss gauntlets are fucking stupid?
You got to repeat those bosses with more moves that you unlock it, and you also got better at playing the game. He's not even going to mention that at least this time you got to fight the bosses that you fought before with Dante and Nero, with V, and also with a handicap, so it's not too repetitive? No? Okay then.
Alright, now that we're together, we're going up against the most powerful demon, our biggest contract yet. Let's split up again.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it'll be way cooler. I'll get a lot more demons that way, I think.
Wait, no, that doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, this will give us the greatest chance of defeating him if we go our separate ways. Yeah!
But you just said he was super powerful. We should team up. This just doesn't make any sense. We're gonna fucking die.
Can we end this already? The only thing I find funny is that Otter Joe got a pretty cool haircut, very similar to Nero from the game, while Angry Joe still has that stupid mop over his head.
Even Rob Schneider in his worst movies is better than this. Please stop, make it stop. For great Kami-sama's sake, I am just a frog, not a monster. See, a Dragon Ball reference. Nyek, nyek, nyek.
Who knows? I guess we'll see. So, my final verdict for Devil May Cry 5 is an outstanding 9 out of 10 with a badass seal of approval. Yes, it could have easily been an 8 out of 10. I think I give it that extra point because I'm so happy that the original timeline is back and that Capcom is just, they're really getting things right back on track here.
Oh, you really like to judge game as they are released. You're not going to take down points for the game for not having a bloody palace at launch like many other previous installments in the franchise? Not to mention the awful microtransactions? I feel like in your own scale it should have been like a 8 or even a 7. Or could it be that you didn't want to upset the Devil May Cry fanbase? Or maybe Capcom would have given you shit since you said it yourself. You're doing an official Street Fighter board game with them.
So what? He's a sellout. He's like Morshu of Zelda CDI games. Not because he's a little chubby, it's because his attitude to sell all his merchandise.
Lamp oil, rope, bombs? You want it? It's yours, my friend, as long as you have enough rubies. Sorry, Link, I can't give credit. Come back when you're a little, richer.
I don't have anything against him for wanting to earn a few extra bucks with that stuff. But when the review itself is this bad, then it just feels like an excuse to advertise his merch than anything else. Also, I am not sure if he's a sellout to Capcom, but even if he wasn't, that doesn't change the quality of his reviews, which is what matters the most. And in his case, they are not good at all. But hey, Angry Joe is well known for not having consistent standards on anything, so it's no surprise there.
Sorry, Dogoberto, but I am tired of talking of Joe coming. So, I better keep going. Sordon is calling me. It's morphine time, and I need a morphine to sleep. Ciao, ciao!
Ah, He really was a Power Ranger. He even had that cheap-ass teleportation effect. Okay, then I will just continue this video on my own.
Alright, for the last time, my sweet surrender is not a toy! Who keeps taking it? Huh? Oh my god, not again. Joe! Give me back my arm! Give it back!
No! You wait for me! You sick! Close my door!
No, give me back my arm!
No, you close my door! Get out!
That's my arm!
Oh!
You better wash it!
Oh, well, that was incredibly unfunny. Also, a lot of people might not get the joke since you didn't put the description of that Devil Breaker in the review. The rest is just awful bloopers that just bore me to death. What a worthless review. He barely talked about the game mechanics, the different chapters, the story, or anything important. And he had plenty of time to do that in the near half-hour time the video lasted. But he wasted it all talking about dumb stuff and doing cringe skits. If you're going to make your video this shallow, at least be like Chris Stockman and finish it off quickly. You could have easily trimmed down this review to 10 minutes if you remove all the pointless filler. Well, that's it for this response. Overall, I think the Angry Joe was never that good. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. But anyways, I am trying out new stuff. So let me know if you want to see more response videos like this in the future. See you later, guys!
Show me your